Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to every one of you. And thank you for joining our SAP webinar today. My name is Pratik, and I'm your host for today's session. And we're delighted to have our SAP expert Sapna with us as we learn more about CIG, your gateway to SAP Ariba. But before we dive into this topic, let me quickly give you a brief overview about who we are and what we do at Rialtes. So Rialtes is a IT consulting organization headquartered based out of Austin, Texas. We are a global consulting firm with operations in US, Canada, India, UAE, and Singapore. What we do is help Fortune 500 companies solve complex challenges through the use of technology. We specialize in Salesforce and SAP implementations across various industries. Few of the reasons why customers choose us is number one, the extensive amount of experience we have in managing large-scale enterprise level and complex SAP implementations. Number two, the reputation and trust that we have built over the years within the SAP ecosystem. And last but not the least, our commitment with which and the integrity with which we work with our customers has made us a preferred partner for all of our clients. Well, with that short introduction, I'll hand over things to Sapna as we explore CIG, our gateway to SAP Ariba. All yours, Sapna.
Okay, so thank you, Pratik, and hello and welcome everyone to today's session, and that is CIG or Gateway to Ariba. And we are excited to have you with us today for our webinar. And my name is Sapna Chauhan. So in this session, we will explore what is CIG, why it's critical in today's procurement landscape, and how it simplifies integration between your SAP system and SAP Ariba. So whether you are a technical consultant, a procurement lead, or just exploring Ariba ecosystem, there is something here for everyone. So we will start with a quick overview of Ariba and its value. Then we will dive into CIG, how to its work, its architecture, and typical integration flow. We will also share best practices, common pitfalls, and wrap up with live Q&A. So we will explain you firstly today's agenda is I will explain you the introduction, so why SAP introduced Ariba and what is CIG, why is CIG for Ariba integration, then what CIG do, CIG architecture overview and use case scenarios, key benefits of CIG and best practices. So let's start. So the first question is why SAP introduced Ariba. So SAP Ariba is a cloud-based procurement and supply chain management solution that help company manage their spend, procurement, supplier relationships, and contract lifestyle in one integration platform. So before Ariba, procurement was paper-based, slow and disconnected. Supplier collaboration lacked transparency. Contracts and sourcing process were manual. Tracking orders, invoices, and payment were insufficient. So, in simple, everything before Ariba is paper-based, so it is very time-consuming, and also it increase the chances of error. So after SAP introduced Ariba, everything we are doing like sourcing and manual procurement process converted into the digital procurement, and everything is cloud based, and all thing is integrated in one platform. So the next thing is aim of SAP with Ariba. So as I told you, all the traditional things is converted into the digital procurement process. So it connect business globally, and also it increase the transparency and compliances and reduce cost and errors. Then I will explain you what is CIG. So as SAP introduced Ariba, so how we can connect SAP Ariba with SAP S/4HANA or your ECC system? The question is that how we can connect both the systems. So CIG work as a middleware between SAP Ariba and CIG. So CIG sits between SAP Ariba and SAP ERP system, handling all the communication, format conversion, validation, and secure data transfer. So you do not need to complex middleware or manual script. So before CIG, integration between Ariba and ERP required manual customization after using middleware like SAP PIPO. So before CIG, SAP used PIPO. So after SAP, it introduced CIG. So CIG is act as a bridge that lets you backend system talk to the Ariba in fast, scalable, and simplified way. So CIG is a gateway. CIG is called a gateway because it opens the door to seamless collaboration between your SAP ERP and the Ariba network. So the main concept, why the question is why SAP introduced CIG. So the answer is because we need to a secure communication between your backend system and your Ariba system. So CIG is work in that way. So CIG provide us six basic things. Like first we go with the integration middleware. Like CIG serve as an integration middleware that connects SAP Ariba with various external system, including enterprise resource planning system, third party application, and supplier networks. Then the second word is standard protocols. So CIG uses standard communication protocols such as XML, SOAP, REST, and other industry standard formats. Then we have data transformation and mapping. CIG provides tools for data transformation and mapping. This means it can convert data from one format to another format. So this is the best and first use case of using CIG. So it is helping you using data mapping. So it ensures that information between transfer between seamless transfer between two connections. Then the fourth one is real-time batch processing. So CIG supports both real-time and batch processing. Real-time integration allow for immediate data transfer, which is vital for activities like order processing. And then we have pre-built connectors. So CIG often comes with pre-built connections to common ERP systems like SAP ECC, SAP S/4HANA. These connections simplify the integration process by providing predefined mapping and configurations. Then we have monitoring and error handling. So CIG provide tools for the monitoring and error handling. So it allow users to track the status and data transfer, identify errors, and take corrective actions. Then why the question is why SAP use CIG for Ariba integration? As we already discussed, it make the integration faster, it simplify the data and it more efficient. So the first one is faster integration. Then the second word is cloud-based management. So everything is based on cloud. Everything is goes into the clouds and lower cost. Then last one is built-in testing and monitoring. So before the deployment, CIG makes sure all the error detect. So now we understand what does CIG do. Like CIG main functions. The first one is data mapping, then data validation, routing, monitoring, security compliance, testing, and simulations. The first one is data mapping. So it ensured that the CIG transferred data format between SAP ERP and Ariba. For example, mapping SAP number format to Ariba item format. Then we have data validations, like it ensure data integrity and completeness before transmission. So before transmission of data from one format to another format, it ensure that there is no data loss or data integrity should be maintained. Then we have routing. So routing is like direct data to the current endpoint system. Then we have monitoring. So it track integration, transaction, and errors. So as I already told you that before the deployment, it ensure that all the errors should be detected. So testing and simulation work in that case. So it ensure that error detection before the deployment. Then we have now we'll understand CIG architecture overview and the main components of CIG architecture. Then the first one is um, SAP Cloud Platform. This one. So this is the functional cloud infrastructure and provided by SAP. So it hosts service like CPI and connectivity used in the integration. Then we have SAP CPI. So CPI is a optional. So if we have very advanced logic and very complex logic, then only we use CPI. So if we have mapping natively, in case CIG will work. Then we have SAP connectivity service. So it provide a secure tunnel between your on-premise system and the cloud. So it provide cloud connectors to shore encrypted data. Then we have SAP ERP or ECC. SAP ERP, like your backend system, S4HANA or ECC, whatever you are using. So your ERP system generate business data like PO and invoices. So the CIG add-on format and prepare data to set to the Ariba. And it also it communicate like by iDocs depending on the integration scenario. Then we have SAP Ariba Cloud Integration Gateway, like CIG. So CIG perform core integration function like mapping, as told you, mapping, routing, and security testing and simulations. It connected to the SAP ERP suite, which process transactions like PO, invoices, etc. So this is the architecture of CIG, and in this architecture, all the components are mandatory except CPI. Like if we have complex logic, then only we go with CPI. Until rather than this, we can use CIG only. Then I will explain you the use case scenarios like procure to pay, integration or sourcing, and contract management. How in these case CIG work will work. So a company uses SAP S4 HANA ECC or for finance and procurement, but wants to buy good and services using SAP Ariba. And the second scenario is sourcing event like RFP and RFQs and contract negotiation happen in Ariba, but SAP needs final contract for operational use. So SAP create we know SAP creates the PO and send it to Ariba by CIG only. So and supplier confirm orders, ships and invoices by Ariba network. Then we have ERP handles the GR, invoices, verification and the payments. All transaction monitor and validate and tracked in the real time. So as we know that the CIG work in the real time scenario, so all these errors or all these things are detect in the real time. So this is the use case scenarios of CIG. Then I will explain you the project. So I am using the Ariba trial account. So I will explain you how we can work with that thing. So let me explain. Okay, so it's showing some error because this is a trial account. So I will explain you with this thing all only. So when you open the Ariba trial account, so as we are using the trial account for Ariba, so maybe for this thing it's showing the error, but I will explain you from this thing. So the application is manage procurement projects. So if you open this projects, open this application. So if you want to um, create a project, and on the project you create a sub project. Okay, so on creating the create button, you will see a fields like project name. So project name is a required field. This is a unique field or the title of procurement project. So whatever you show in the project, whatever you give the title of the project, it will show in the title as the title of the project. So then we have project type. So when you drop down the field, you will see three options. The first one is van, second one is forklift, and the third one in truck. So procure van means so procurement of delivery vans and service vehicles. Then the second one is forklift, so procurement of warehouses, materials and transport equipments. Then the truck, third one is truck, so procurement of logistic or long haul transport trucks. So for example, when you select forklift as your project type, the application might load template or sub project types related to the equipment, showing supplier compliances and lease versus busy decision move your. Okay, then we have project visibility. So project visibility is like private. So who can see your project, who can control your project, it comes under project visibility. Then we have project status. So it is like it may be active, inactive, draft, or completed, depending on your project status. Then we have project lead. So who is your project lead? So for example, your project this um, in project lead, you will explain, you will enter your project lead user as user ID. Then we have currencies like USD or EUR, anything. So once you created the project, you will create the sub project. So what does we understand by the sub project? For example, there is a project of engineering, and in sub project there is a concept like civil engineering. So in sub project, it is act like that only. So sub project, you enter the sub project name. It must be unique. Then we have the three types as we drop down, like heavy, medium, and light. So heavy means like large and complex critical components, like you have to install the engine, so it comes under heavy. Medium means moderate components or partial assemblies, like brake system assembly or electrical harness installations, that comes under medium. Then we have light, like minor task like accessories or finishing work, that all thing comes under light, like your interior fitting. Okay, then we have the sub project scheduling template. So it comes when you select any of these, it automatically select a template for you, give the option for the template for you. Then we have plant. So it identify the physical or organizational plant location, so where you want to do the work. Then you have the start of production, like from which date you want to start your production. Then you have a sub project visibility, like in project also, like private, sub. Like if you select private in your project, then it automatically comes private here. Then you have currencies, like it reflect from your project, your main project, your parent project, to your child project. Then we have BOM concept. So BOM is like a bill of material. So it display BOM links to the sub project. A BOM define what components are needed in what quantity, or for what part of the process. So once you create all these things, your project is created. And in if you assign, like in this, there is a question like, if you assign the BOM, then only item will be displayed. So if you selected the items, and then you have the options of team members, you can add the team members, like just giving the S user ID of your team members. And also you can change the project lead. So in future, your project lead can is changing, so you can also change by this option, like change project lead by just um changing the S user ID, giving the S user ID to the application, and your project lead also change. So the question is, how SAP, how CIG comes in the picture. So the question, the answer is SAP CIG is not directly used inside the procurement planning UI. Instead, it play a role in connectivity SAP Ariba with your SAP backend system. Let's say as we build a project of procure 10 tire, okay, and also define like project scope, add team member, budget, also create sub project. So now CIG comes in picture, like it sends a response return to why CIG we sent, like send to SAP S4 HANA, why CIG as purchase order or PR. Send back to Ariba, why recollections, or share to Ariba, why SAP, why CIG. So in that stage, CIG comes in the picture. And we will I will also explain you the one to one how this the flow chart, like how this application works, and what we have done in this application by through a flow chart. So first we will start with the Ariba procurement project app. So when we start the procurement project app, like we make the project, like I show you in the application how we can add the project, add the sub project, add BOM, add line items, everything. then CIG integration, then we have SAP backend system. So here CIG works between SAP, your Ariba application and your backend system. CIG is a bridge, act as a bridge. Then we have CIG send back data to the Ariba. So after that, if anything is generated in your S4 system or your EC system, like in your backend system, CIG send back data to your backend system. So the first thing I will explain you Ariba procurement project. So in this, the user generally create the procurement project in SAP Ariba, as we also create using my project name. So this include sub-project, your BOMs, and most importantly, sourcing request, also known as RFQ. So, for example, as we create a project of van procurement and start sourcing key parts. So, what we need in future, like tire, like anything. So, in that thing, when is come from what we select in the project type. So from there, when is come. Then we have CIG integration. Like once sourcing and contracting is finalized, the the purchase order is created. So CIG act as a middleware. As I also told you, the CIG work as a middleware between your Ariba and your backend system. So CIG handles like data mapping and real time error handling and everything. Then we have S4 HANA or ACC. So, whatever your PO is generated in CIG through CIG, the PO is now live in your ERP system. So, supplier. So, what your ERP system? So, it confirm the orders, ship goods, and submit invoices. So, once goods are received, EIP records these events, send it to the Ariba system. So now we have CIG sent back to Ariba. It captured the status from the S4 HANA, invoices approval, invoice approval, and sent back to the Ariba. And last we have the this cycle and when we have the status like in project bar, we have the status of completion. So the project status bar show that the application is completed. So this is the whole cycle. um, we have I have shown you. Okay, then we have the key benefits. So why we use SAP CIG. Okay, so sorry. So it simplify the integration. So it directly converts it, help in the data mapping, routing, everything. So faster time to value, reduce cost and efforts. So it prepared before the deployment. So this is also helpful in reducing the time also. So it automate upgrades, standardized and harmonized process, secure connectivity and scalability, better monitoring and testing tools, and support for hybrid landscape, future proof platform. So these all are the key benefits of using CIG. Then we have the best practices. So prepare and validate your ERP system. So make sure if you are valid if you are working with the Ariba demo system. Okay, so you can't directly integrate with CIG with your demo system, because it needs a full subscription of Ariba. So then only you can use the integration of CIG. Otherwise, if you are working with demo system, then you can just learn the flow, how CIG is working in that thing, as I explain you. Then we have leverage prepackaged content. We have everything what we need to do the integration, like secure the connectivity. So plan for testing thoroughly and ensure master data synchronization. So follow up recommended deployment approach. So these all are the best practices which we follow while using the CIG, and with what we should using while we using the CIG. So that's all from my side. So if you have any questions, so please let me know.
Thank you, Sapna, for sharing your knowledge about the CIG and SAP Ariba system, and throwing some wonderful insights about how the entire process of procurement works with CIG and SAP Ariba. We have the question and answer section right at the bottom of your screen, so we'll keep the bridge open for around a minute. If you have any questions, please type it in. We can pick it up from there and answer those questions. Again, type in your questions right at the bottom of your screen. So we have a question coming in, how CIG will differ in Ariba integration with S/4HANA Public Cloud.
Okay, so when we are working on the S4 HANA public cloud, and then we will use the CPI integration, and but if you are working on the ECC or backend system, then there is a um, limitation, like we can use only the system which have ABAP core or this kind of subscriptions.
I hope that answers your question. Also, feel free to send us an email from any part of the world that you are in. So we are based out of US, India, Canada, Singapore offices, and you would also see the respective emails for you guys to get in touch with us. So feel free to email any more questions that you have. We will definitely pick it up and respond back to all of your questions. If you have any specific demo requirements, or if you want to discuss any specific use cases with respect to CIG and SAP Ariba, also feel free to get in touch with us on any of those email IDs which you see on the screen. We keep having these webinars once every week, so do follow with us on LinkedIn, where you will get to see more information about the upcoming webinars that we're planning to have in the coming weeks, and do register with us to get some more insightful information on SAP as well as on Salesforce. Again, at any point of time, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at sales@rialtes.com. Well, that's it from our side. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this webinar today. See you again back next week. Have a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you, Prateek.